Leonardo DiCaprio is far more than that singular, unforgettable portrayal. Over time, he has ascended to become one of Hollywood's preeminent stars, accumulating Academy Awards, blockbuster films, and iconic red carpet appearances. He has achieved it all. However, as his professional trajectory soared, his personal life remained intricate, particularly concerning matters of the heart. Now, at 50 years of age, Leo has courted supermodels, disengaged from significant relationships, and conspicuously sidestepped a prominent query. Why has he never committed to marriage? Well, the anticipation has concluded. For the inaugural instance, DiCaprio has finally divulged the genuine rationale behind his lifelong stance on matrimony. Join us as we delve into his personal narrative and reveal the unvarnished truth behind Leonardo DiCaprio's assertion that he will never tie the knot. From a modest dwelling in Los Angeles to worldwide acclaim, Leonardo DiCaprio was born on November 11, 1974, in Los Angeles, California. He was the sole child of Marlene, who worked as a legal secretary, and George DiCaprio, an artist. They met during their university years and subsequently relocated to Los Angeles after completing their studies. Leonardo acquired his distinctive name when his mother felt his first kick while viewing a painting by Leonardo da Vinci in an Italian museum. When Leonardo was merely an infant, his parents parted ways. George had developed feelings for another woman and moved out, but both parents remained committed to raising him, thus they resided in adjacent homes with a shared garden. George lived with his girlfriend and her son, Adam Ferrar. Leonardo formed a close bond with Adam, even looking up to him. As Leonardo matured, he and his mother moved across various parts of Los Angeles, including a district known as Los Feliz. Leonardo once remarked that his parents possessed a very bohemian disposition. He also shared that he grew up in a challenging environment surrounded by crime and destitution. Nevertheless, he consistently admired and trusted his parents. He attended several educational institutions, including the Los Angeles Center for Enriched Studies and John Marshall High School. However, Leonardo found conventional schooling uninspiring. His true aspiration was to perform, dreaming on a grander scale than the confines of a classroom. As a child, Leonardo harbored ambitions of becoming either a marine biologist or an actor. He gravitated towards acting due to his enjoyment of performing. He relished imitating people, contorting his features, and observing the reactions of others. His passion for acting commenced at a tender age. He recounted that it began when he was merely 2 years old and performed a dance at a festival, eliciting smiles from the audience. Leonardo's interest intensified when he witnessed his stepbrother Adam earning remuneration for a television commercial. That particular engagement yielded Adam $50,000, and Leo perceived the potential that existed. He subsequently attempted to secure a role on the children's program Romper Room, but he claims he was dismissed for being overly disruptive. The host, however, has disputed this account. At one juncture, Leonardo nearly abandoned his pursuit of acting to concentrate on breakdancing, having secured second place in a competition held in Germany. By the age of 14, he had landed his inaugural professional engagement, a commercial for Matchbox cars. This opened numerous opportunities, and he soon appeared in advertisements for Kraft Singles, Apple Jacks, and Bubble Yum. Yet, achieving this was not without its difficulties. He dedicated a year and a half to seeking representation. One agent even advised him to alter his name to Lenny Williams to project a more American image. He declined this suggestion. With his father's encouragement, he persisted in his efforts. Ultimately, a family acquaintance facilitated his recognition by casting directors, and Leo subsequently secured approximately 20 commercial roles. Commencing humbly, aspiring to greatness. Leonardo's inaugural substantive acting role materialized in 1989. He portrayed Glenn in 2 episodes of The New Lassie. Following this, he secured several minor parts, including appearances in Santa Barbara and a series titled The Outsiders. His significant breakthrough occurred when he joined the television series Parenthood, where he embodied Gary Buckman, a troubled adolescent. He approached the role with earnestness, drawing inspiration from the performance of the actor who portrayed the character in the original film. His work on Parenthood and Santa Barbara garnered him 2 nominations for Youth and Film Awards. Contemporaneously, he participated in a game show called Funhouse, where he engaged in amusing challenges, such as capturing a fish with his teeth. Even as a burgeoning actor, Leo exuded an abundance of energy and was perpetually prepared to entertain. In 1991, Leonardo made his cinematic debut in Critters 3, a horror film. He later humorously remarked that it was among the least impressive films ever made and not something he felt proud of. That same year, he assumed the role of Luke Brower, an indigent youth, in the television program Growing Pains. The producers enlisted him to attract a younger demographic, particularly female viewers. Actress Joanna Kearns described Leonardo as intelligent, playful, and fond of jesting. Although the viewership ratings did not improve, Leo nonetheless received another award nomination for his portrayal, earning him considerable respect within Hollywood. In 1992, Leo had a minor appearance in Poison Ivy. However, something far more substantial followed. He was selected by Robert De Niro to star in This Boy's Life, a film based on the true narrative of writer Tobias Wolff. Leo played Toby, a troubled teenager with a difficult stepfather. De Niro portrayed the stepfather. It was a demanding role, and Leo had a considerable amount to learn. Director Michael Caton Jones remarked that Leo initially lacked familiarity with acting on a genuine set, necessitating a rigorous approach to his instruction. Leo assimilated these lessons with diligence. The film garnered critical acclaim, particularly for Leo's depiction of his character's development. Reviewers were impressed, and This Boy's Life emerged as the film that initiated public recognition of his talent. But his ascent was not yet complete. Just 1 year later, he delivered a compelling performance in What's Eating Gilbert Grape, portraying a young man with developmental disabilities. That role earned him his inaugural Academy Award nomination. Audiences were captivated by the authenticity and emotional depth of his acting. Leonardo continued his upward trajectory. He starred in the romantic films Romeo plus Juliet in 1996 and Titanic in 1997. Both achieved immense success, with Titanic, in particular, becoming the highest-grossing film of its era, propelling him to global superstardom. Suddenly, Leonardo DiCaprio was a household name. Admirers were enthralled, but he harbored no desire to be confined to playing romantic leads indefinitely. Consequently, he took a hiatus and returned with a redefined objective: to explore diverse roles. In 2002, he featured in Catch Me If You Can and Gangs of New York. The latter film marked his initial collaboration with director Martin Scorsese. They subsequently produced numerous films together, forging a formidable partnership. Leo consistently embraced challenging roles. He depicted a troubled businessman in The Aviator, 2004, a diamond smuggler in Blood Diamond, 2006, and a police officer in The Departed, 2006. Each portrayal showcased a new facet of his talent. In 2008, he portrayed a married man in Revolutionary Road. His performances were invariably profound and intense. Throughout the 2010s, he maintained his impressive momentum, starring in Inception, Django Unchained, and The Wolf of Wall Street. In 2015, he finally received an Academy Award for The Revenant, in which he depicted a frontiersman struggling for survival. His subsequent appearances included Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Don't Look Up. Most recently, he starred in Killers of the Flower Moon in 2023. Beyond the silver screen, Leonardo's endeavors extended beyond acting. He established a production company named Appian Way Productions, which was instrumental in producing many of his films and a television series titled Greensburg. He also gained recognition for another significant cause: environmental advocacy. He founded the Leonardo DiCaprio Foundation to elevate awareness regarding ecological issues. In 2005, France bestowed upon him a distinguished honor, naming him a Commander of the Order of Arts and Letters for his contributions to the arts. Furthermore, in 2016, Time magazine recognized him as one of the 100 most influential individuals globally. He also assumed the role of a United Nations messenger of peace, actively advocating for global issues with a particular emphasis on climate change. Over time, he evolved into an emblem of leveraging fame for a greater purpose. In 2022, fans voted him among the 50 greatest actors of all time in an Empire Readers poll. However, beneath the veneer of fame and achievement, a persistent question lingered in the public consciousness. Why has Leonardo DiCaprio never married? This query invariably accompanied him. And now, at 50 years of age, Leo is finally prepared to address it. But to fully comprehend the context, let us examine his relationships from their inception. The actor who has been linked with the world's most renowned women. Leonardo DiCaprio has consistently captured headlines, whether for his cinematic achievements or his romantic entanglements. Ever since his rise to prominence with Titanic, public curiosity has surrounded his dating life. Over the years, he has been associated with numerous celebrated women, predominantly models and actresses, and indeed, this has become a discernible pattern. One of the earliest individuals linked to him was Bridget Hall, a prominent Victoria's Secret model during the 1990s. The two were frequently observed together at events around 1994. Although they offered little public comment, it was widely believed that she was Leo's first model girlfriend. Next came Naomi Campbell, another celebrated model. Their purported romance occurred in the mid-1990s. The relationship was brief, but notably, they maintained a close friendship. Even years later, they have been photographed on vacation together and attending charitable events. In 2015, rapper 50 Cent shared a photograph captioned, "I get photobombed by the hottest people in the world. You should try living without limits," featuring both Campbell and DiCaprio in the frame. Following this, he dated Kristen Zhang, a model whom he escorted to the premiere of Romeo plus Juliet in 1996, but the couple separated shortly before the release of Titanic, an event that irrevocably altered Leo's life. Speaking of which, the situation became somewhat ambiguous with the appearance of Demi Moore. The two were seen together in 1997, but Moore was still married to Bruce Willis at the time. While there is no definitive evidence of a romantic relationship, speculation was rife. And then there was Helena Christensen, another prominent figure from the modeling industry. They were often seen at parties together around the time of Titanic's release. Again, there was no confirmation from either party, leading some to believe they were merely acquaintances. DiCaprio's romantic history did not conclude there. The subsequent years were characterized by fleeting romances and persistent rumors that kept his name in public discourse. These consisted of brief relationships and unverified gossip. Amber Valletta was among those rumored to be romantically involved with him. According to reports circulating at the time, Leonardo DiCaprio supposedly saw her photograph in a magazine and instructed his team to contact her. This scenario sounds as if it were lifted directly from a film. However, similar to many of his relationships, it was never officially confirmed. Valletta later married an Olympic athlete and subsequently a financial expert. Another individual frequently mentioned was Eva Herzegová, a Czech model. They were reportedly involved in a short 2-month romance after encountering each other at the premiere of The Man in the Iron Mask. However, Eva later asserted that no romantic involvement had occurred. The first long-term relationship to garner significant public attention was with Gisele Bündchen. The couple dated for approximately 6 years, from 1999 to 2005. This was one of DiCaprio's more serious partnerships. The pair even journeyed to the Amazon rainforest together in 2004 to raise awareness for environmental causes. Gisele shared her perspective on their time together in her 2018 book, Lessons: My Path to a Meaningful Life. She wrote, "I was no longer dulling myself with smoking, drinking, and excessive work. I was becoming increasingly conscious of aspects I had previously avoided. Was I alone in desiring profound self-reflection while he remained unchanged?" Ultimately, the answer was indeed yes. Gisele later married NFL star Tom Brady and started a family, yet her relationship with Leonardo remains one of his most widely recognized. More models and a few other notable figures followed. Next was Bar Refaeli, another prominent figure in the modeling industry. They met at a gathering in Las Vegas and dated intermittently for 5 years. They were even observed sitting courtside at a Lakers game in 2010. Their relationship concluded in May 2011. In a magazine interview, Refaeli recounted how the breakup contributed to her personal growth, stating, "I came to understand a great deal about myself. I worked on myself and matured. I had never experienced solitude. Today, I recognize that a relationship can only succeed if you know you can be alone and are not apprehensive of it." During a hiatus from his relationship with Refaeli, DiCaprio was involved with Anne Violitsina, a Russian model who had previously worked with Victoria's Secret and Sports Illustrated. Their romance was brief, and Anne later married singer Adam Levine. In 2011, fans were surprised when DiCaprio began dating Blake Lively, the star of Gossip Girl. Their romance was swift and intense. They were photographed together on a yacht in Cannes and were also seen in various locations including Italy, New York, and Australia. The executive producer of Gossip Girl, Josh Schwartz, shared a memorable anecdote from that period. He recalled Blake dating DiCaprio at the time and mentioned her habit of taking photographs of a doll, which she then sent to Leo. This was her method of documenting her life before the advent of Instagram. As the years progressed, Leonardo DiCaprio's romantic history continued to expand, with a consistent pattern of dating younger models. More relationships emerged in the more recent years. In 2012, Leonardo DiCaprio was observed cycling in New York City with Erin Heatherton, a Victoria's Secret model. This was enough to ignite dating rumors. Although their relationship was short-lived, the separation appeared amicable. Years later, Erin commented, "He is a wonderful person and a friend of mine. I wish him all the best." That speaks volumes. The following year, in 2013, Leo's name was associated with Miranda Kerr, another Victoria's Secret model. She had recently separated from actor Orlando Bloom. The two were seen dining with friends in Las Vegas, but before any romantic connection could be assumed, individuals close to them clarified it was merely a friendly dinner. Miranda later married tech billionaire Evan Spiegel and became a mother of two. Also in 2013, a Brazilian model named Kate Andrade claimed she was dating DiCaprio. She stated they met at a party and, in an interview, shared, "Leo is amazing, but I worry about what he will think of me talking to you. We have an understanding that nothing can ever be said about our relationship." However, shortly after her statement became public, reports emerged denying the relationship. According to E! News, Leo and Kate were never a couple. Thus far, it is evident that Leonardo's relationships either remain very discreet or generate considerable speculation. But there was more to come. Models, red carpet events, and persistent rumors. In 2014, Leo was reportedly in a relationship with Toni Garn, a German-born model who also walked the runway for Victoria's Secret. They dated quietly for approximately 18 months before their breakup in December. Toni eventually married actor Alex Pettyfer in 2020, sharing their wedding photographs from her hometown of Hamburg. A few years after their separation, in September 2017, photographs surfaced showing Leo and Toni walking together in New York after a dinner. Some speculated they might have rekindled their relationship, but it appeared they were simply reconnecting as old friends. Nothing further materialized from this encounter. Then, in 2015, DiCaprio was observed getting close to Kelly Rohrbach, an actress best known for her role in Baywatch. They were seen together at the US Open and also riding bicycles in New York City. As with many of his previous relationships, this one also remained private. However, the paparazzi were ever present. Then came the most sensational rumor of all, Rihanna. In 2016, the singer and the actor were seen together at Coachella. They were also spotted at parties in Paris and at Rihanna's birthday after-party in 2017. The rumors escalated to such an extent that a French tabloid falsely claimed Leo had gotten Rihanna pregnant. DiCaprio even pursued legal action and won the case. There was no definitive confirmation of whether the two were ever a couple, but fans certainly enjoyed seeing them in the same vicinity. In July 2016, Leo began dating Nina Agdal, a model from Denmark. She was 24 years old at the time, and their relationship appeared to be somewhat more public than his others. By October of that year, reports indicated that their relationship was becoming serious. However, like many before her, Nina's time with Leo concluded quietly, without any public drama or fallout. And then came Camilla Morrone. This relationship endured longer than most, approximately 5 years, which is nearly a record in DiCaprio's romantic history. Camilla, an actress and model, was 20 years old when they began dating around late 2017. Leo had still been seen with Nina in May of that year, but by the end of it, Camilla was clearly his companion. Their relationship attracted considerable attention, primarily due to the age difference. Online discussions about it were constant. Camilla addressed the matter directly. In 2019, she posted a video on Instagram stating, "I just read some of the comments on my Instagram and my God, people are so mean and full of anger towards people they know nothing about." She added, "Living without hatred feels pretty good." In the same year, she also spoke with the Los Angeles Times. Camilla remarked, "There are so many relationships in Hollywood and in the history of the world where people have large age gaps. I just think anyone should be able to date whoever they want to date." Concurrently, she admitted, "I probably would be curious about it too." A touching detail was her posting a photograph of herself at Koh Phi Phi Lay in Thailand, the same island where DiCaprio filmed The Beach in 1999. Although the couple attended the 2020 Oscars separately, they were seated next to each other inside the venue. By August 2022, reports indicated they had parted ways. After 5 years together, Leo and Camilla decided to end their relationship. However, this did not deter people from attempting to link Leo with someone new. The Gigi Hadid chapter. Following DiCaprio's separation from Camilla, all eyes turned to Gigi Hadid. Rumors spread rapidly, with people suggesting the two were secretly dating. Paparazzi closely monitored their every move, and headlines continuously appeared. However, sources close to Leo eventually offered clarification. One source informed the Daily Mail that they had attempted to date some time ago to explore the possibility of a connection, but it simply did not materialize. The source explained that Leo and Gigi had been friends for a considerable period, but no romantic relationship developed. They also added that they were not in an open, casual relationship. People needed to move on from the speculation. Neither Leo nor Gigi has ever publicly addressed the rumors. Gigi is now in a relationship with actor Bradley Cooper. So, was there anything substantial between Leo and Gigi? According to those who know them, no. It was simply friendship and nothing more. But with DiCaprio, stories tend to evolve. His private life has remained just that, private. Even when the world observes closely, he seldom discusses his romantic interests or his preference for discretion. But recently, one name has stood out from the rest, someone who seems to be more than just another fleeting headline. After years of brief encounters and understated breakups, DiCaprio's latest relationship is generating discussion for a different reason. Leonardo DiCaprio and Vittoria Chiaretti. In 2023, Leonardo DiCaprio was initially linked to Vittoria, a renowned model from Italy. The pair reportedly met during the premiere of Killers of the Flower Moon at the Cannes Film Festival in May. Not long after, they were observed spending time together in Paris, which further fueled dating rumors. Vittoria, who commenced her modeling career at the tender age of 14, has collaborated with prominent fashion houses such as Versace, Gucci, Balenciaga, and Alexander McQueen. She has been a fixture in the fashion industry for years and has established a significant reputation for herself. Prior to her association with DiCaprio, she was married to Italian DJ Matteo Milleri, but their marriage ended in 2023. Following her divorce, events seemed to progress rapidly between her and DiCaprio. By August 2023, the couple was seen vacationing together in Sardinia, Italy. Subsequently, more sightings occurred: Halloween parties, a Rolling Stones concert in Las Vegas, a visit to Art Basel in Miami, and even DiCaprio's 49th birthday celebration in Los Angeles. In September, Page Six published photographs of DiCaprio and Chiaretti spending time with his mother. The deepening connection between Vittoria and Leonardo DiCaprio sparked widespread speculation that their relationship was entering a more significant phase. When a celebrity introduces a significant other to their family, public curiosity inevitably turns to questions of commitment, with many wondering if this is the one. However, as is often the case with Leonardo DiCaprio, the situation is rarely straightforward. Insiders are now weighing in on the topic of marriage. While Vittoria and Leo outwardly appear to be enjoying each other's company, sources close to the actor suggest that marriage is not on the horizon for him. Reports from those in the know indicate that despite his evident affection for her, DiCaprio does not feel compelled to formalize their union through marriage. One source divulged to Page Six, Leo has never envisioned himself getting married. He doesn't feel the necessity of tying the knot to validate a relationship in his own mind. The insider further elaborated that while DiCaprio genuinely cherishes his time with Chiaretti and values their bond, the role of a husband is something he cannot see himself fulfilling. This revelation may not be met with universal approval. Another confidant shared that Vittoria is reportedly focused on becoming Mrs. DiCaprio, emphasizing that she is not merely a casual girlfriend, but is deeply invested in the relationship at every level. She is actively demonstrating her commitment to understanding and cherishing him, proving she is far more than just a superficial companion, according to the source speaking to In Touch Weekly. They also added a pertinent observation. Vittoria is navigating this situation astutely, recognizing Leo's pronounced intellectual interests and understanding that a lasting partner must be supportive of these. Consequently, while Leo is widely recognized for his debonair Hollywood persona, he also possesses a more private and contemplative nature. Chiaretti might just be the type of woman who appreciates and understands this facet of his personality. Nevertheless, if her aspirations include marriage, insiders caution that this may be a goal she cannot achieve. Although there's been no ring, their public appearances have been plentiful. Public speculation intensified when Victoria was observed sporting a diamond ring. Some fans interpreted this as a sign of a proposal from Leo, but this was not the case. The piece of jewelry had been part of her personal collection since the year 2022, predating her acquaintance with DiCaprio. Despite this clarification, fans humorously speculated online that perhaps Leo was finally contemplating settling down, with one person jesting, "He's hit the big 5-0 and realized it's finally time to tie the knot, LOL." However, those familiar with DiCaprio maintain that marriage remains an unappealing prospect for him. This sentiment is not a recent development. He has dated numerous prominent women throughout his career, including Gisele Bündchen and Bar Raffaelli and Camilla yet none of these relationships have approached marriage. Each time a relationship seemed to be progressing towards greater seriousness, an unstated impediment emerged. Even now, in his 50s, this pattern appears to persist. His current relationship with Victoria Chiretti may hold a special significance, and indeed, it has endured longer than many anticipated, but this does not necessarily signal an impending wedding. As for queries regarding his potential future as a father, that is a separate narrative altogether. Turning 50 and contemplating the future. Leonardo DiCaprio celebrated his 50th birthday on November 11, 2024, a significant milestone for anyone. For an individual who has spent a considerable portion of his life in the public eye, it is natural for people to wonder about his future plans. Surprisingly, DiCaprio has expressed a desire for fatherhood. In a recent interview, he stated, "I am sure it will be, but it's true. I am not getting any younger." This marks a rare instance of him openly discussing his wish to have children. While this may not equate to an imminent marriage, it suggests a shift in his perspective on life. Nonetheless, those who know him well echo the same sentiment. They do not anticipate him getting married. A source informed The Sun, "Leo's true passion is acting." Relationships often take a back seat as he becomes completely engrossed in his roles, a dedication that has contributed to his remarkable success. This has been the discernible pattern for years. He dates younger women, enjoys their companionship, but when the relationships begin to intensify, his focus invariably returns to his career. However, there is one aspect upon which everyone agrees. Leonardo DiCaprio is an exceptionally dedicated actor. Early in his career, he collaborated with Robert De Niro on the film This Boy's Life, an experience that profoundly influenced his approach to acting. DiCaprio once shared with The Guardian, "I watched his work, realized the caliber of actor that he was, and said to myself, I will never squander this opportunity." He has consistently upheld this commitment, which has propelled him to the pinnacle of Hollywood success. It may also be the very factor that has prevented him from settling down. Therefore, despite the ongoing inquiries from fans and the media regarding when DiCaprio might finally marry, the answer may well be never. He appears content in his relationship with Victoria and cherishes their time together, but in his view, marriage is simply not a necessity. What are your thoughts on Leonardo DiCaprio's personal life? Do you believe he will ever alter his stance on marriage? Please share your perspectives in the comments section below. And remember to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating narratives from Hollywood's rich history. Until next time.